Hello and good morning, Facebook. Let me get my volume, make sure I'm on here. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so glad to see you today. My name is Eliza Bloom Robinson, and I am a transformational catalyst. I was getting a lot of questions, even in my coaching group. A lot of people were going, well, what is that? And what do you do, like exactly? And what is it that you do? And so I had the idea, hey Naisha, to just share some of what I do. So I'm going to tell you what I do, I think. I keep working on that, right? So what I do is I help women primarily, although not exclusively. I work with men as well. Hey, Susan. And I help people, we'll say people, I help people come to the edge of their awareness and break through in a manner of dissolving or dismantling their edges in order to more fully express who they are in the world. I gently, quickly, and easily dissolve lifelong limiting patterns, shatter invisible glass ceilings. I help people who are already successful in their lives find a deeper, broader success. So as I've been describing my work as it's evolving a little bit, I'm using the idea of a tree, of a really full, rich tree. And we have a lot of, I'm in Arizona now, and we have a lot of fullness of trees all year round. But we also have a few really strange little things that like look completely dead, but they have like one spot here that's full of life, or they're starting to get sprouts, or like one branch and the rest is dead. So I've been using that image. Looks dead. It's obviously not dead, looks dead. And so it's like this. My ideal client is somebody who's successful in one or two or three areas of their lives, but they still have that one place, that one thing where they just can't quite get it right. What I see in a lot of entrepreneurs, especially women in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s even, but they'll like skyrocket with their financial piece, but then their weight will get out of hand, or their health will get out of hand, or their relationships will go wonky. Wonky's a technical term, you know, right? One of my favorite words, wonky. And so I help those women find the disconnect. And so in the image of the tree, the work that I do really is strengthening the trunk of the tree and deepening the roots, really getting those roots deep, those foundational pieces. And those foundational pieces for me in my work is the spiritual realm. And so I help people connect to that which is greater than them. Doesn't matter what you believe, there is something that is greater than you. Call it gravity, if you will. And I hope you connect and then look and see. And we all have subconscious patterns. We all have lifelong limiting beliefs that we were raised with just because we're human, right? We're in human form, so we have those. So I help women land on those, discover those, and then dismantle them. So what I decided to create was this 5-day free series, this free activation series. And today is day 2. We had so much fun on day 1. Went a little bit long, but had so much fun on day 1. We were shifting and moving from stress to relief. And the people who were on live and the people who have watched the video, some of them had made comments, and they were like, oh, I needed that. Oh, I found calm. And what I know to be true is that any time we are constricted, we don't have full access to our wisdom, to our brilliance, to our life force, to our ideas. So today we're looking at fear. Fear has a couple of acronyms. One of them that I've used forever is, just spaced. Oh yeah, false evidence appearing real. Right? Fear is false evidence appearing real. And the other one is face everything and rise. So it's sort of the polar opposite, right? False evidence appearing real, or turn and face it and rise up through it. in my book, Falling into Ease, excuse me, as I went right off camera to grab my book. In my book, Falling into Ease, I have a chapter. Well, I have a lot about fear in the book, actually, but I have a story in the book about the dragon. And a man, short synopsis of the story, a man was terrified of the dragon under his bed, right? And he went to doctors, and he went all kinds of places. He ended up at this psychologist's office, and the doctor said, "Oh yeah, I'm sure I can cure you." And he's like, "Well, what's it going to take?" He's like, "Well, my rate is, whatever, $250 an hour, and you need to see me 3 times a week for the next 3 months, and by then you should be cured." And the guy said, "Oh, okay." And he left, and the doctor never saw him again. A couple of years later, or a couple of months later, or whatever the story was, they ran into each other at an event, and the doctor said, "Hey, you've been on my mind. You so impacted me." I'm like, "What happened?" He goes, "Well, I'll tell you what, I was more scared of having to pay you that kind of money than I was of the dragon. So I went home and made friends with him." And I love that story. So many of our dragons, so many of our fears are false evidence appearing real. The Course in Miracles teaches that there's only 2 emotions. One is fear, and the other is love. And the truth is, if you're not in an expanded, open place of love, then at some level you're in a contractive state of fear. So a little story on myself. I used to say, well, I still say, I'm pretty fearless, actually. People have commented all over my life, how much courage I have and all that. And I would laugh and go, "Well, yes, thank you very much." And it's probably more ignorance than courage. I had no idea what that would take, right? I would just go jump off the cliff. Oh, there's a cliff? Yep, go. I've left jobs. I've left marriages. I've left careers. I've moved across country. I moved across country 3 or 4 times as a single mom with little tiny kids. My daughter's still trying to forgive me for that. Actually, she has, but I'm relatively fearless. I have done rock climbing. I have done parasailing. I have done trapeze flying. I have done all kinds of things. And a lot of it was for the sense of adventure, and some of it was to push me to an edge of my fear and to do it anyway. And so I say that I'm fearless. And yet what I discover in this last, a few years back, I had a position in my career that was really hard. And something in me broke or got pushed up or something. There was something that happened inside of me that shook my confidence, if you will, that shook my foundation, really. And I think part of what happened actually is that a barrier of keeping me safe, right? We all have those things shattered. And so I found myself to be much more vulnerable, to be much more out in the world, and much more like, oh, there is nothing protecting me from anyone here. And that's actually a good thing. And then over the last couple of years, as I'm really developing this online business, my work has been developed. My work is, if I do say so myself, quite phenomenal. It's so powerful. But getting it out into the world has been a little bit trickier for me up until now. And so as I'm thinking about this fear, it's like, wow, it's so ingrained in our systems. It's so like woven into the fabric of our being, even when we're fearless, right? And we look at today's world and we go, wow, and I have such compassion. My heart breaks for the pain and the suffering that's in the world. And so it's easy to sort of pull back and stay in my bubble. I've been teaching within the context of a spiritual container for many, many years. And that in itself is, in a sense, a bubble. And we've been traveling a lot, so it's been really easy to pull back. And what I'm aware of for myself, and probably for you too, because you're watching, is that it's time to bump up against another layer and say, no, that dragon will not terrorize me any longer, right? And so how's that fear show up? Sometimes it's procrastination, sometimes it's overwhelm, sometimes it's underwhelmed, sometimes it's, oh, I'm just tired. Well, all of that can be actually tracked. I mean, sometimes you're physically tired and that's valid, right? Sometimes there's too much to do and that's valid. But if we track with really honest eyes and sense, we can track so much of that back to a source of fear. And so we're going to just break through that fear for a moment. So if you're here live, if you're here listening to the recording, watching the recording, I invite you to do this. Can you feel the fear, the energetic fear? That's the other thing. I play in the energetic field, the quantum field, actually. And when we just talk about fear, and I know there's some of you on the line. I can see, I don't know everybody who's here, but I can see some of you. And so there's this collective, right? And let's talk about fear. And it's like, oh, so notice your body. Notice if there's any sense of fear in your system. There is in me. I can feel it. It's got a flavor. It's got a texture. It's got a quality to it. So just let it be activated, right? Just let it be activated. Take a breath. Take a breath. The thing is this, you know, in New Thought, in the context of my 30 years of teaching, there is a false belief that says, I don't want to look at that because if I look at it, I'll create it, right? That's a misuse of the law of mind. The truth is you can't see it or sense it if you don't have it within you. But there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's no judgment of that. So in this moment, and let's do this for all of humanity, right? Let's do this for our friends, for our family, for our loved ones, for our children, for our parents. Let's do this for our country, and let's do this for our world, because every time we dismantle fear and replace it with peace, that's what we're going to do today. Every time we do that, that builds a field. So you ready? Take a breath. You can close your eyes if you want to, and you don't need to, but close your eyes if you want to. Activate fear. Think of fear. Feel fear in your body. It does not have to be rational or logical. Most of it's not. For me, when I activate fear right now, I've got like this, almost this kind of tingly, like back behind my shoulder blades. And it's like there's something there, like it's just like, shh, you know, just a little bit. So I'm just going to feel into it. I'm going to go, oh, look, that's where you're showing up today. Oh, look. Oh, there you are. And just like in the story of the man with the dragon, we're going to just breathe through the power of breath, because we can. Through the power of breath, we're just going to begin to separate. For me, it's back here on my shoulders. Separate it out. Just make a little space between it. And we're going to bring it up in front so that we can see it. You can do this with your eyes closed, right? But feel it, like just with acknowledgments, with gentleness, with compassion. Come on out. I want to see you. Oh, look. Imagine it in the palms of your hands that you can look at it. And just breathe with it for a moment. Just breathe with it. Keep breathing and allow all of it to come into the palms of your hand. Your palms might now become a container, a bowl, or a pot holding all of this fear. But let the tendrils, like let the cobwebs, like let the threads of fear all be gathered into this pot, into this container, into this bowl that you're holding. You might even want to like just reach back wherever you feel it and pull it off. Pull it and just pull it gently, gently, gently. We're not trying to get rid of anything here. We're just feeling into it. We're breathing with it, right? And as it enters into that pot, just look at it and go, oh, look. Look at you. You're my fear. You're my dragon. And notice what it looks like. Notice what color it is. Notice what texture it is. What is the quality? Is it ropey, or is it sloshy, or is it heavy? Acknowledge it. I see that you're here. And I know that you're here just really to protect me, right? Really to keep me safe. But I got this now. I got this now. Then we're going to just simply begin to lift up that container. It might be super, super heavy, but you can do it. Begin to lift it up, and lift it up, and lift it up. And notice that as you lift it, it actually begins to get lighter. Lift it up, eye level. There you go. There you go. And on 3, we're going to toss it up to the universe. 1, 2, 3. Toss. Let it go. Let it fly. Let it fly. And then we're going to allow, feel, imagine that this heaviness that was fear that you've thrown up to the universe now is sprinkling down on you. It's like a fairy stardust. What color is it for you? Is it multicolor? Is it gold? Is it silver? Is it white? And feel it just sprinkling down on you like this blessing. And as it sprinkles down, feel a sense of peace entering into your being. From the top of your head to your palms, moving down through your body, moving all the way down to your feet and out into the earth. And just take a breath. So we acknowledge fear. We lift it up. We transcend it. I'm actually using quantum mechanics here. We transcend it, and it rains down on us as peace. Feel the peace moving through your body. Feel the peace moving across the space that fear vacated. Remembering that there are only 2 states of being. There's fear and there's love. So let love permeate and penetrate and fill those inner spaces of your beingness. Let peace permeate and penetrate and fill the inner spaces of your being. Let it move through all aspects of your being. Through your physical body, through your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, through all dimensions of time and space, through all states of awareness. Let it move. Take a breath. And notice what you notice. Notice how your body feels. Notice, type in the comments so I know what you experienced. There's a couple comments, I can't see them all. Oh, David joined, nice to see you. Jim says, let's dismantle fear. Nisha says, I love that second one. That was from earlier. So type in the comments, what do you experience? What are the sensations in your body? What are you aware of? Hey, Bev, good to see you today too. Take a breath. We've just dismantled a body of fear, an illusion of fear, and fallen into peace. We've let the peace and love of the universe rain down over us and upon us. And take a breath. Take a breath. Take a breath. Let it anchor and integrate. There you go. There you go. Nice. How does peace feel? Do you feel perhaps inspired or uplifted or empowered? This is a snippet. This is an activation. One of the many things that I do. Today we looked at fear. And Jim says he's feeling lighter. Yes, thanks. We looked at fear and we dissolved it really for peace. Tomorrow, oh, it's one of my favorites. Tomorrow we're going to take a look at procrastination and actually transcend it. Use procrastination to actually fuel authentic action, not busy work action, but authentic action. So that'll be really great. The work that I do when I work in groups or with individuals is we work in a systematic, structured, supportive way. And so we look at layers. We always go as deep as we can go in any given moment because that's what changes all things. But we look at where we are, where we want to be, and what's stopping us. We start there. We start with what's stopping us, and then we move forward. We do clearings, we do activations, we do lots of work on the spiritual realm, really connecting you to your wisdom, and you to my procrastination. Can we put that one off? Sure, we can put that off. Yeah, I'll wait till tomorrow, Jim. That's funny. Crack me up. Anyway, that is this. That is me. This is me, Eliza Bloom Robinson, Transformational Catalyst. So happy to be here today to connect with you, to feel your presence with me, to serve you, and to serve the universe. Please feel free to share this video around. I've got a registration link. If you register, you can also get the replays and get all the yummy stuff as we go. But for now, that's it for now. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, where we will, unless we procrastinate, look at procrastination and turn that into authentic action. Thanks for being here with me today. Have a great day. Bye-bye.